Draymond Green is out of control. He's been suspended indefinitely by the NBA. Now, I think this is a little bit of a sad story right now. I don't think he's down and out. I don't think it's over for him, but it's not great. I'm actually a huge Draymond Green fan. I never played anywhere near at the level of Draymond Green, obviously, as I am not an NBA champion. Sorry, spoiler alert. But I did play sports very competitively. And in a lot of ways, I was, when I played basketball competitively, my game was similar to that of Draymond Green, except I was more skilled offensively. I could score more. But I did a lot of the dirty things. I did a lot of the dirty work, that is. I was the emotional leader, always intense, always fighting with refs and stuff like that. And just, wanted to always cover the best player of the opposing team and took a lot of pride in that. And so I've always really appreciated Draymond Green because it was great to really see someone like him get his respect, because for me personally, I didn't feel like I always got that respect. Doing all of those things and just hustling. And because I had an attitude and I wasn't so amazing that my attitude was able to outweigh, that my skill set outweighed my attitude sometimes, right? For some teams it was like, well, we're going to put up with him because he's great and look what he's doing. He's helping us win. And on other instances, it wasn't. Right? Especially the higher up I got and the better other players got, it was like, I need to be better. And one of the best teams that I played for, my coach really put me in check, kept me in line. And it mattered, honestly. It mattered. And so with Draymond Green right now, it's how he's made his career, riding this fine line between intensity and insanity. And it's what's made him millions. It's what's made him successful. It's just that fine line. But right now, it's not great because his skill set is fading. He's getting older, understandably so. And now there's like some overcompensation, I feel. And you can't keep doing that. The Warriors are going to crumble under this because there's not other players to even pick up the slack right now because they're all older, and it's sad. It's frustrating to see. It's not necessarily aging gracefully, but the truth is no dynasty does. The Patriots crashed and burned. The Lakers with Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal crashed and burned. Whether it was after Kobe had won 2 more ships, then it just still eventually the Lakers went nowhere. The Patriots crashing and burning. Kansas City Chiefs, it looks like they're potentially going to crash and burn. I mean, my God, if there wasn't so many injuries in the NFL right now, I mean, the Chiefs would potentially not even win their division. Seriously, especially if the Broncos didn't get off to such a terrible start, they wouldn't even be leading their division. So dynasties rarely just end beautifully and where everyone just rides off to the sunset. And that's kind of what's happening with the Warriors right now. And it's sad to see, but Draymond Green, it's been reported to that Bob Myers, the old GM, was really his guy, his confidant, his guy who really had his back, someone who he would talk to very regularly, which you don't always hear about, that being that close to a GM. And there was rumors before that he left as the GM, he left the Warriors because he knew that these players were getting older and that he was going to have to make serious moves that he didn't want to do, that he couldn't bring himself to do, right? He couldn't bring himself to trade or get rid of Klay Thompson or Draymond Green or any of these other players. So he was just kind of like, I'm out, goodbye, I'm not doing that, which I kind of respect in a lot of ways. He built these relationships and built a dynasty and didn't want to deal with some of the other things. He didn't want to hurt scoring his friends. And so that's kind of, but when you're looking at it, when you're depersonalizing it, this is kind of the problem that you run into, because right now it's like Klay Thompson maybe does need to be moved. Draymond Green maybe does need to be moved. I mean, I don't know, right? It's like, I'm not so sure that you don't just slash and burn the whole team and outside of Steph Curry, and just rebuild around him with younger, more athletic guys. maybe a couple other vets sprinkled in. But right now, it just doesn't look good. And Draymond Green, at this point in your life, you need to mature. You need to be a man. When you entered the league, you were a boy. I don't care. We always say that men, you're a man. You're 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. I hate to break the news to you. You're still a boy at that age. Honestly, you really are. I mean, you just are. Your brain is still literally maturing. That's what we learned now in science. Your brain is still literally maturing. You're not actually fully developed yet. He's in his 30s. He is a man now at this point. He really is. But the problem is when you become rich and famous and successful at such a young age, you kind of stop maturing. Because why do you need to, right? Maturing is usually facilitated by your environment dictating what needs to be done, right? You mature because you have a kid, and now you need to provide for that kid. You need to provide for your family. So it forces yourself to mature, to straighten your back out, get to work, and do what needs to be done. Draymond Green was successful pretty early on in his career. So why would he have to change? I know you see this with celebrities. You see this. This is why child celebrities and just celebrities in general who get famous, on the younger side are so dysfunctional. Because it's like, what? Imagine if you were 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 years old and you became rich and famous. Why would you change? You're like, look who I am right now. Everything I've done in the past has led me to this moment. I'm not changing. Why would I change? That's where he's at right now. From his vantage point, it's like, why would he change? He's a champion. And he's a champion for good reason. So that's kind of the issue that you're running in with Draymond. And I just wish he would learn to change. I wish through his family, right? Not even his team, but through his family, through his beautiful children, through his wife, be like, you know what? I don't want to be this anymore. I don't want to be this person anymore. I can be intense. I can scream and yell and go hard. But you know what? It's still going to be within reason. This is just not within reason anymore. So I really hope Draymond can get right his ship, get back on track for the tail end of his career, because I just don't want to see him be that guy who's just, I don't want to see his career just end in an explosion, because he's been too good for too long and have been part of one of the most dynamic NBA teams in the history of the league. So I would like to see him go out on a better moment than he is right now. So Draymond, I know you're watching this. Fix yourself. Get better. Do the work. See a therapist.